What's up, Sunshiners? Today we've got another guest on the program for episode 4 of Between Two Durians, one of Super Mario Sunshine Bingo's best restreamers, newest commentators, and just generally friendliest people, miamiAndy. Let's jump in and see what we had to discuss. So I'm here with my name twin, miamiAndy.
Howdy.
I'm sure plenty of people don't know our name story, but you prefer to go by Andrew in real life, and I prefer to go by Andy in real life, and yet our online personas are the opposite.
Yeah, definitely an unusual one, but went by miamiAndy. While I still, at that point, I actively hated being called Andy.
Hmm.
But
But
nowadays, as
you're,
long as you're talking to me,
yeah, and you're not Miami anymore either. It's Boston Andrew.
oh no, yep, been in Boston for 11 years now.
Yeah, I feel like I don't know the story as well as I should. Like how you have family back in Florida, right? But you moved to Boston for work, maybe? Like, what's the full story again?
Eh, grew up in Miami, uh, school in upstate New York, and then Indiana, working in Indiana, and wanted to leave Indiana
Just chose Boston.
and could move to Boston and stay at the same company, which helped.
Okay, like a transfer.
Yep,
Oh, that's cool.
and they paid me to move.
Nice.
They paid me, so
Because moving's expensive.
yeah. So yeah, that was and moved here in 20 end of 2014,
Nice. What do you
just before
like?
they broke every snowfall record they had.
What do you like more about Boston compared to everywhere else you've lived, or Florida specifically?
Seasons are nice
Yeah.
to some degree. Uh, doesn't get quite as hot in the summer, although it does get colder in the winter, but the change is good.
Yeah. So I start off by asking everyone, what's their history with Super Mario Sunshine and/or the bingo community. And I know I've asked you repeatedly before, like how you got into the bingo community, and you're like, honestly, I don't remember. So I'm like, all right, so we'll ask, what's your history with Super Mario Sunshine specifically?
Uh, well, I played it sometime soon after it came out. Uh, to some degree, I don't never, I think I any percented it, not really ever 100%ed, and then I played it in like 2015 or so, fully 100%ed, and that was the last time I played it myself. Uh, for the watched Twitch streams for years. Started off with people who did like I Want to Be the Guy, and also a lot of Nintendo games. Uh, Fuzziness is one I've watched a lot. Who does like used to do speedruns of different speedruns Mario Party and things, and then in chasing person to person through. Uh, I'm sure if one of the people I was watching was doing a bingo and in the Sunshine Bingo League as part of something, and started watching,
Mm-hmm.
and then watched a lot first when he did watched a lot of Schmidt when he was just getting started. Uh, and yeah, then just been mainly the Sunshine Bingo. I've watched some of the other bingos that like Bingo-thon and stuff, but something about Sunshine Bingo is nice in that it really does fork in a lot of different like. There's a lot of choices you can make, but it's not as open world as like when you see like a Breath of the Wild one or something where you can go across the entire map. But there are choices to make, and speed isn't always everything. And I guess my other favorite thing about Sunshine Bingo in particular and Sunshine is they're the speedrun games you watch where the entire thing is like you look at some of the first person ones, you're basically staring at the ground or you're basically not actually watching the game. And there are ones like Sunshine from speedrunning or bingoing where to actually do well, you have to actually play the game, and you get to see the gameplay.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like I remember seeing a video on like Tumblr or something like 10 years ago. It was like it was it was like some scene from a TV show where it was like a person doing this like really weird ritual and they were like walking across the room in like a like super straight line or something and then like turning like 90 degrees to the side and like doing all of this crazy shit and like the caption was like Ocarina of Time speedruns be like and I was like yes because it's like they're not even like no judgment of course they're not but they're like not really playing the game in the sense of like you know you're like okay if I wanted to try this like I don't even know where to begin. Whereas, like, at least in Sunshine, it's like, okay, you know, if you're doing any percent, like, you know, you're still like, you know, you need to beat the seventh episode of every level, and like, you have to get every shine. And yeah, there's like plenty of glitches and stuff, but it's still like largely movement based, and like, you have to know how to play the game. And if you mess up, like, you have to know how to recover by playing the game.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like that more movement based speedruns. I feel like they're more fun to watch,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. And there I always think about bingo, especially the similar to what I enjoy about is when I watch randomizers is when you do speed watch any percent speed runs, you often watch the first 5 minutes of a game 100 times for every one time you watch the end.
Hmm.
And so it's nice to actually see a game, well, bingo not necessarily played through, but partly played through.
Yeah, you do get to see a lot more of the game, huh? Like you don't get to see a lot of episode 8s and you never get to see Corona to my chagrin, but you do get to see like pretty much everything else, right? I mean like it's you literally just you don't see episode 8s, you don't see Corona, you don't see like going back to
Yeah.
the airstrip. And other than that, it's like everything's on the table.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't seen past Noki 4 in a while, but
Okay, well
you used to see
that's
that
true.
occasionally.
Yeah. So Sunshine moderators and staff, we need a new patch that addresses this so we can see more of the game. Which I'm sure they'd remind me that like I think it is still a stipulation that if you like collect Bowser's shine, like that does still just instantly you just win. But
I think that might be a joke, but
you know, in our bingo match though, which was about 3 hours, if anybody had a sub three any percent, they could have beaten either of us by just doing any percent, which is fun to think about.
yeah,
Maybe not fun, maybe it's painful, but
I mean, I probably should have at least played the game once through before we had our match.
it's fine. Made it that much more even because you had the better bingo knowledge.
Yeah, was a fun one.
Yeah, it was fun. We
Right.
should do that again.
We'll see.
Yeah, if you weren't so busy, we would have been knocked out of the 2v2 tournament already by now, which is sad because I would have loved to have gotten knocked out of it, but it's like I can't team with anybody else. That would be cheating. Except Ramato, of course.
Yeah,
I mean Ramato and I were like, you know, we were gonna team for sure, but then we were like, other people should have a chance.
that would be an interesting one. Uh, expert and a noob,
Yeah,
perhaps.
we should get grab like Ramato and I don't know who's like Jeff, I guess.
Jeff.
Dex or Mason, like just grab two of those top level players and be like, all right, listen, 2v2 goals, but you each have a dead weight as a teammate.
I mean, it's a matter of them figuring out a goal or two that Deadweight can do while they do the other 23.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I mean like that was kind of like the game I commentated recently with Reed and Popo where Popo had the game over not the game over but the soft lock like 25 minutes into the match and had to start completely over and lost all progress and it was like and then Popo ended up clicking the most goals I think out of the team, like even more goals than Reed, who'd been progressing in the game for 25 minutes longer, which is kind of crazy. But yeah, it's a good.
Oh, I missed that one.
Yeah, that was a good match. That was I can't remember when that was. It was all a blur, honestly. I think I got pulled in at the last second to commentate, but it's dire straits when I'm asked to commentate because, you know. But you've been commentating and you've commentated now, you've restreamed a lot, and you've done a bingo match. So you're basically like a full-fledged bingo member at this
Yeah.
point.
Yeah, well, tried to sign up for restreaming for years now, but I was apparently signing up wrong and should have just said, "Hey, I want to restream."
How are you trying to sign up?
In the volunteer doc that apparently no one actually looks at.
Oh, that's so sad.
It was good, and yeah, then started restreaming and finally got the courage to try commentating.
Yeah. I mean, you've been watching for long enough, right? I mean, haven't you been following the channel for like
7
easily,
years, I
yeah, pre-pandemic?
pre-COVID a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, that's crazy. But yeah, when I think of like restreamers, I'm like you're the first one that comes to mind because I feel like there was that really long chunk in Dawn of a Dynasty, I think specifically where like you must have restreamed like what felt like 30 matches in a row or something. It was just like every single match like you had grabbed, and maybe that was because other people weren't signing up, but like you were the goat for a while.
Yeah, I grabbed the bunch there, and then you finally got internet. You grabbed some uh, Invictus. I know
Yeah.
was for a bit, and then we
Romano
had
did a
the
couple maybe.
Scrimmeth. Yeah, Rouse did some. Then we had the Scrimathon. We had the Scrimming Gauntlets when
Yeah.
every time we started to plan our match. There was
Yes.
the there was the Scrimathon. There was the best of seven. There was the row mega row battle.
Yeah. Yeah, and Funky was doing a lot of that restreaming. Like he did the whole Rumato Tomato Scrimathon pretty much, I think.
You did a
At least,
couple days.
yeah.
I did a day. I think someone else did some, or
I don't
I don't
think I,
remember.
I don't think I got to do any because I think it was during the week, right? So I think I was working.
I think you commentated some.
I did commentate, yeah. I did come in for like one or two at the end of like the first day, I think. But it
I think
was
in 21 matches we got everyone to commentate.
yeah, that was a it takes a village moment, I feel like. Like I know that Rumato and Tomato obviously were like the hard workers for committing the time and the mental energy and everything, but like that was also like a very community oriented thing. Like everybody pitched in, and plus, a bunch of people
Yeah.
donated too, which is really cool.
Yeah.
Um, but so on a more personal level, uh, tell me a little bit more. I mean, I know I kind of know, but for the people that don't know, like, what do you do for work?
Computer security. So penet penetration testing. So take applications uh, and try to break into them and find security issues. Used to do it more from consulting side of things, where did it for all sorts of companies, uh, and now more do it for inside for one company.
How many applications does the company you work for have that they need that much penetration testing?
Thousands.
Wow. Okay, that's a lot.
I mean, part of that is if you look at let's say, a bank, the logging in is a different application than checking your balance, than making a transfer, than changing your profile.
Yeah, that's true.
Those are all different. Those are all technically different applications, and therefore they're all looked at individually.
And they're managed by like different teams and stuff.
Um, Oftentimes, depending on.
Okay. Yeah, I do application support at my job for one application that our company offers, and I think our company offers like 20 or 30 different applications related to the industry that I'm in. So um
Mm.
it's obviously much smaller. So it's like we wouldn't have dedicated pen testers on our side, but we do still
You'd you'd hire the consultants like I did before.
yeah, exactly. And we ask our clients to do their own penetration testing of our stuff,
Yeah.
which is interesting. Not something I really knew about until like I don't know, a couple of years ago that I
Yeah.
was aware that was a thing.
Yeah. Old company I know tested some games and streaming platforms and things, but that was never the apps I
Mm.
got to.
You didn't get the fun stuff like Dolphin Emulator.
No,
I'm teasing. I don't know.
that's
I don't know that
open
Dolphin would
source.
be.
That's open source, so people probably do and
Yeah,
then
that's
fix it or post it as bugs in GitHub. I think it's where it is. I think it's public.
yeah, that's true. Because I mean, it does have online play, so there could be.
And I mean, you look if that sort of thing, you do look for vulnerabilities even in not necessarily for works applications I look at, but you do look for vulnerabilities in actual software because if you're installing Dolphin and giving and you're using ROMs, if it can escape out of the emulator to do stuff, if I give you a corrupted ROM,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true.
could I then mess around with your computer? So there is some level of even testing applications beyond just web applications.
Yeah, that is really interesting. I know for the one I work on at
Test,
work is it's got a lot of like free form text entry and stuff. So of course they have a lot of like we're still working on like whitelisting special characters and stuff like that to allow for, you know, almost anything to be typed in, but not anything, because if you could type in
yeah,
anything, then you know you've got SQL injection, cross-site scripting, like so
all the fun things.
yeah. So I just thought that was funny when you told me you were like, oh, like I do penetration testing, and I was like, oh my god, I know what that is. Like I feel like a lot of people,
Yeah,
not that like I'm so smart, but I feel like a lot of people would be like, what's penetration testing? Understandably, but I was proud I knew.
get a lot of that. Uh, I have one friend who loves the job title.
Yeah. Yeah, I get that pain. When I worked at a bank before, everybody was like, "Oh, are you a teller?" I was like, "No, not even close." Like banks do a lot of stuff, unfortunately. But yeah,
Yep.
nice. But so you're still with the same company that you moved to Boston for 11 years ago, or are you at a different place now?
I moved in 2020 and I've been here this new company ever
Oh,
since.
okay.
That was time to switch from consulting, which for a mix of reasons,
Hmm.
it was time to go to a different company.
Yeah, I feel like there's got to be
And
more stability being at a company versus
uh,
doing the consulting.
I mean, both were stable. There was just company changed over time,
Hmm.
and so tried something different. Working internal is nice in its own way for a company. If the company actually cares about security,
Hmm.
uh, slightly different but slightly easier pace in some ways.
Yeah. Yeah, things move. I feel like things move a lot slower when it's just an internal thing versus when a third party's involved, then things sometimes pick up speed a little. But when it's just internal, it's like, whatever,
Yeah.
just, we've got time.
Well, I mean, the difference is like, okay, here's your consulting. It's like it's on all contracts and SLAs, so it's you're starting Monday, finish Friday, versus here it's some more start it when you can go to the next one as you finish this one and spend the time you need.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. You got to jump around from assignment to assignment. But so do you still so what you still travel like a whole lot though, and you travel back to Miami to see family, right?
Yeah, travel in bursts. Last year I traveled quite a bit. But yeah, definitely go to Miami usually a couple times a year. Passover, Thanksgiving, usually at least one other time. Going for July 4th this year.
Mm. Yeah, I feel
And
like there were a lot of times you were like, "Oh, I'm traveling," and I was like, "This dude goes everywhere." Like, but I guess you're mostly just going back to Miami. Like, but you did some
uh
traveling elsewhere, right?
yeah, started doing dragon boating last year, which is like a friends been trying to convince me for years. It's like a not quite crew, but paddling. Uh, you and 20 other people in a boat with paddles, kind of not quite a canoe paddling, but that's sort of paddling versus rowing. And
Hmm.
so, friend convinced me to go to a training camp for a week in Orlando for that.
That's like hard stuff too. Like paddling is and rowing
It
are,
was tiring.
yeah. Like I don't think I could do that. Was it so it was just for a week? Was it just to like just for fun? Was it like was there a competition or anything or
So for 4 or 5 days, we paddled, like, did like, with the coach, like 2 hours in the morning, 2 hours in the afternoon on the water with a couple hours, and then warm ups and stuff. And then actually, we did do a race on Saturday in Sarasota.
hmm.
It was a fun time. The race.
Did you win the race?
We had a good time.
Point taken.
Eh,
Moving on.
the boats were, I mean, the boats were boat can full boats 20 people, and due to people we had and those we could get, we were I think either 16 or 18 people out of 20. And also we were the mixed divisions, which can theoretically be 10 men and 10 women, and we were, I think, 3 and 15.
Mm.
So
Well,
not that it's 1 to 1. I know some women that are could outdo some men, but in generally speaking,
yeah.
yeah. So generally speaking, there is a something to be said about being balanced and also having a full boat. But we did well. We improved our times each time.
Huh.
I paddled, did a race with a 2K for the first time and hopefully the last time.
I was gonna say, so this was just like you were just trying it, and like, is it something that you'll do again or
No,
no?
I'll keep doing it. I just never want to race a 2K again.
Oh, okay, that's
Normally the
fair.
races are like 200 meters or 500 meters. 2,000 meters is 12 exhausting minutes.
That doesn't sound like a lot, but I feel like that must be a lot though when you're doing it. Because like when I was a kid, when I was in like middle school, we had like a class field trip to San Francisco, and I don't know why, as one of the things, we went to like the bay or something, and we did paddling in like individual um little boats. It wasn't like canoes or anything. Like it was actual like it was like the hard plastic like sport type thing. Um, and I like,
Kayaks?
yeah, I guess, yeah, kayaks. But it was just like still water. It wasn't like we were like on a river or anything like that. And it was so embarrassing because I remember like I did not have the upper body strength to do it, and so like I was falling behind, and the person that was in charge of like doing the activity that was like obviously like paid as part of the tour or the class field trip had to like tie my kayak to theirs and like drag me along. Like that was humiliating. I don't know how all those other kids were able to do it, man. Like it was hard.
Yeah. Yeah, I like the dragon boating. I also definitely like going on boats that have motors on the back of them.
Yeah. Yeah, I like big
It's
boats.
nice.
Not like Titanic, but
Yeah.
maybe the size of Titanic as long as it has a good track record of not sinking.
I mean, they all have a great track record until they don't.
Exactly. Well, like Titanic had no track record, that's my thing. It's like yeah, any boat is going to have a better history than Titanic.
Every boat hasn't sunk till it does.
Yeah. The Titanic's maiden voyage. That's pretty crazy. How did we end up on this subject? I don't know, but that's okay. Like, isn't that crazy? Titanic sunk on its maiden voyage.
It was unsinkable got unless you gashed the entire side of the ship.
Yeah.
My understanding is if they actually rammed the iceberg head on, they would have been perfectly fine.
Yeah, I
That
feel like
they tried to get away. It was
yeah.
a dodging a bit that
Yeah, like
did them
they
in.
glanced to the side, yeah. I feel like that still would be pretty bad though to hit it head on, but yeah, at least if it didn't break
You
the
wouldn't sink.
hull, yeah, like you might have to stop, but huh,
You'd limp the rest of the way across the ocean probably, but yeah, you'd probably have survived.
yeah. I always think that's so crazy. I remember like I was like it would be so morbid, but I remember I graduated high school in 2012, and for some reason I always know that the Titanic sank in 1912, so it was the 100 years since it had happened, my senior year of high school, and I was like, oh my god, like they should make like the prom theme like Titanic or whatever, and then I was like, that's really morbid though, like especially if it's like the anniversary of the actual Titanic sinking as opposed to like Titanic the movie themed or something, but there was no Titanic themed dance or anything. That was just me being silly.
Yeah, I have in my head, which I'll see if I can find for you later, a tune, like a kid's song about the Titanic that's surprisingly morbidly cheery.
Oh, but so many kid songs are morbid though. Like all of the like all the German kids stories. Like I feel like there's like Bavarian stuff. Like all those European things for kids are actually like super dark.
Yeah, this one's surprisingly
There was
cheery.
just one I was listening to the other day. I'm never gonna be able to remember it now, but dang, so funny. And when we were talking about rowing, I like literally earlier today was reading the Wikipedia article about rowing crew because for some reason that just popped into my head after watching The Social Network where the Winklevoss twins are they row crew at Harvard. I was like, I want to know more about that. So just open the Wikipedia article and then you mentioned rowing and I was like, I was just reading about rowing. Small world.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what other stuff do you like to do outside of work, going on rowing trips and or sorry, paddling trips and Super Mario Sunshine Bingo outside of the big 3? What else do you spend your time doing?
Uh, well, let's see. In real world, board games, reading, uh, some watch like trivia shows and stuff.
Bless you.
Thank you. And going out on boats of various sorts. And hiking some, nothing intense, but
Hmm.
light hikes.
Yeah. I feel like you can't
Uh,
probably can't hike
yeah.
all of the year in Boston because I know it gets really friggin' cold.
Oh, I've gone on gone through the winter on Sundays with a friend in the past.
Hmm. You have to get
Yeah.
like super decked up in like a million layers of clothes.
I mean, the days it gets to like the week or two of the year it hits like single digits, we don't go out. But
Okay.
if it's in the a lot of times, it's teens, 20s, whatever, 30, like we've gone out. Don't necessarily go for long hikes, but and it depends. This past year was stayed colder and stayed snowier. Other years it's up and down all over the place. There's not snow that sticks as much, so
Hmm.
it depends the
That's
time of the
fair.
year.
Yeah.
And then for other things, I otherwise watch things I watch on Twitch is lot of randomizers.
Hmm.
Particularly
I,
the Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask, Donkey Kong 64.
oh, I thought you said Funky Kong 64. I was like, wait a
Well,
minute.
I don't know. I guess he should get a cut. They do. They have uh, a, a couple of custom models for that. They should put Funky in there,
Yeah. I've played
or just
the Wind Waker randomizers where you can play as like you can play as grandma,
Medley.
you can play as Medley, you can play as like freaking like all these like custom things and like
Yeah,
the custom colors. I thought that was so cool.
yeah. Well, not in the combo randomizer right now. I'm thinking Ocarina of Time or Majora's Mask. One or both of them you can play as Pepsi Man, among other options.
I love the creativity of it's just people on the internet that just like just modding. Like I know it's a cliche, but like Skyrim mods, like the first time I played Skyrim, my friend bought me the game, so he got to pick all the mods I had to play with for my first playthrough. So I had the moon was replaced with the moon from Majora's Mask. All of the horses were replaced with My Little Ponies. All dragons were replaced with the Thomas the Tank Engine models. Um, it was the skeletons made the trumpet doot doot noises when they walked. Like it was so chaotic. It was such a not immersive first playthrough, but I like still fell in love with Skyrim after that. But yeah, like the things that people will mod just brings me joy that people are so ludicrously like creative and silly.
Yeah, I remember Warcraft 3 and the custom maps there way back. That was always a lot of fun. And the different maps you got there. People put entire RPGs in a custom map.
Really. I never got to play Warcraft, so I never got that experience.
Yeah. I mean, Dota in basically its entirety, in terms of pure select, the laning key and everything,
True.
was a custom map.
That's true. It was a mod. Dota was a mod.
Yeah. Yeah. Not
Yeah.
even fully a mod, just like instead of loading, so you do Counter Strike like Dust, you load Dota as the map
Yeah.
with a lot of scripting inside the map. The map editor there was quite incredible
Hmm.
at times,
Yeah, that
but
makes me think of like Team Fortress 2. There's like crazy maps where like there's like a Minecraft map and like you're literally in like a map textured after Minecraft and stuff with like custom sounds, custom animations, like people will do crazy stuff. Speaking of which, I was talking with Tomato and we were like so I was talking to him about shoot, what were we watching? Oh, the Minecraft ranked like speed runs, the like where it's like you racing another person. And it's like a mod for the Minecraft client. And so it's got like matchmaking and MMR and like all of this. And I was like, we don't need like matchmaking and all of that stuff, but for their production value for their stream, like the actual like event when they were doing these playoffs or something, like you could like the stream had like the players' items and like counts tracked and stuff because like they're just able to grab that info from the client that they're playing on. And I was like, okay, hear me out. Like we need something like that for Sunshine. Like we need a custom ROM or something that like has an API hook that like we can do stat tracking automatically. The downside is everyone would have to play on Dolphin, which would get immediate pushback from everyone. But I was like, wouldn't that be so cool?
I mean, if it was all on Dolphin, that would probably be relatively doable.
Yeah, right? And like it wouldn't be like I know I under
I
go ahead.
think that's its own. I think that has its own challenges, and I think people like playing on the actual consoles with the,
Yeah.
especially for ones who do speedruns on other things. They want to play on the devices that have the timing they know and the responses they know, the
Yeah.
lags they know.
Yeah. So I feel like it would never happen. But I was like, damn, that would be really cool if we just had like because like I was trying to like code a bot to do stat tracking automatically based off of like clips from frames, like watching the gameplay and detecting like, oh, a shine was just grabbed. But oh my god, I was like, this is just a pipe dream. I'm not skilled enough to be able to see something like this through to the end. So I was like, so hear me out. What if like we went like the ROM route where
I mean, a 1v1, if you like, some people who are in chat used to keep, like Falcon and stuff, used to keep really good stats and keep track of things. When I'm actively watching, I can keep track of a lot of things, not necessarily everything. But if you had that their way they're keeping track of it, kind of like your sheet or any of the other trackers, and you just sync that to what's on the stream, that would kind
yeah,
of
that's true. Yeah.
work. But that does need at least one. That needs one or two people actively tracking, which is
Yeah, the
a
downside.
big ask
Yeah.
because they can't also. If you want fully accurate, you can't also necessarily be uh, calming.
Yeah, I was like, you can't. I haven't tried to commentate and stat track at the same time, but I don't think I would ever like. even want to try, because it's just like the moment you try to focus on one thing, you're just completely out of it for the other thing. Like
Yeah, I mean, it depends on the stats you're trying to track. Tracking shines done is easier to do than if you're trying to track. Did they get that
blues.
exact all those exact blues? Unless
Yeah.
you make note of ones I didn't get. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, I when I wrote the spreadsheet that I wrote for stat tracking, I was like, "Oh, I want it to be like as detailed as possible," because I think the previous one that was shared with me was like it had shines and stuff, and I think it had maybe some blue stuff, but I was like, "Oh no, like if it exists as a thing that you progress towards as a goal," I was like, I want to be able to track that. But then, of course, the resulting spreadsheet was like so overwhelming with how much there is to track, and I just could not do it. And then Darkman was able to do it with me a couple matches where like we each tracked one player, because I could not do two at the same time. It was just there was so much like, you know, like the SpongeBob meme where his eyes are like looking to both sides of the book. That was me like trying to stat track two players at once. So
yeah, I
yeah.
mean, in some ways it could be better if you're just stat tracking for the goals they have to actually get, but that's its
Yeah.
own level of paying attention.
Yeah. It would like I think I like what you said though, is like it would definitely be more doable if you were just tracking like just shines. And I guess the question would be how to like best display that information to the stream. Because the nice thing about like the Minecraft thing was it's like I don't even know, I mean, I know a little bit about Minecraft speedruns because I've been watching Tomato do them, but like it like
Same.
their display shows like, you know, obsidian and like beds and like all this, and it's like, oh, okay, so like I get it, like they probably want to have like at least some of each of these things at various points in the run, if not like throughout the whole thing. But I'm like, how would you, you know, how would you display that for Sunshine in a way that's not just like, oh, here's the total shine counts, because you can see that anytime they grab a shine
Yeah.
anyways.
Yeah, I'm not sure there's a great one just because there isn't a great like if they're doing like a speed run or like a randomizer run where you're keeping track of individual items or the Minecraft run, like that's very clear you have set goals and therefore you're tracking when they have something or just don't. Where bingo particular, you could not get any blues and all of a sudden get a lot. You can go 20 different ways and it's not okay they got the three secrets from Bianco or three secret signs from Bianco and that's good. You have to keep track of that they got the secret signs from here, from three different places.
Yeah.
But then you also have to keep track that, oh, they got two secret signs from one level, which is in a different area, but also overlapping with the other one, but not really
Yeah.
necessarily.
Which is kind
So
of crazy when you think about it, because the Minecraft speedruns are like, I don't know how they do it, but they have like seeds that are like, you know, predetermined that like you can get started really easily with like the items that you need to find. So you're near like a shipwreck or a village or whatever. But like it's kind of funny when you think of like Minecraft being procedurally generated, like with random seeds. Well, random in a sense, has less variety in what gets done during the gameplay versus like a match of bingo where there's so much more variety, because the goals could be so much more varied than like
yeah.
in a Minecraft speedrun you're gonna be doing basically the same thing every time, but that is not the case for SMS bingo.
Well, I think that's the difference when you're looking at uh randomizers or bingo where your goals aren't necessarily set. Where in Minecraft, your goal
It's the same every
your
time,
goals and
really.
your goals and your process is the same every time. Similar to
Yeah.
doing a Sunshine speed run. The way JJ is gonna go through a any percent is gonna be the exact same route every time until they come up with a slightly unless they come up with a way to shave that second by doing a jump slightly differently. They're gonna do the exact same movement every time, and so it's very consistent versus with a randomizer where, oh, you need these three dungeons, but to get there you have to figure out what dungeon has the hook shot, or in bingo, oh, there's not really any blues goals, so we're just gonna route this way, or I really like Pianta starts, but there's no Pianta on the card at all, or there's like 20 surrenders on this card, although so I'm just gonna have to do whatever's for an hour.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We can make it work though. We can, like I always say, I'm like, I love our production value for the restreams. That's something before I was even like involved in the community. I was always just like, these people are serious. Like I would see the, Sunshine Community Twitch be live before I even participated, and I would just be like, they've got this like whole ass layout, and like they've got like, the names and the animations and everything, and like even like the best of three tracker and stuff like that. I was like, these people take it seriously. Like, so it's fun to be part of that. But I'm like, how can we raise it to 11 and make it even more crazy?
I don't know the full history, but I know a lot of that, comes from the Bingo-thon community and how they do things, and it's a branch off of star layouts from their stuff,
Yeah.
is what I know. And
Yeah, and a lot of Lego, I think, who did a lot of the work, like the playlist, which is actually
yeah,
what
the
you made me think
music.
of when you said you were signing up on the volunteer sheet that no one looks at. That was making me think of that person that posted a couple months ago. They were like, is somebody like, has someone added the song to the playlist that I redeemed on the channel?" And we were like, "Oh, yeah, nobody looks at that. Like, we'll have to look into that for you. Sorry." Like, there's not some automated process that's just adding stuff to the playlist.
Yeah, I wonder even who manages the playlist currently.
I don't know that it even is, man. I mean, I think Tomato is gonna try to find out about it, but like, that's also what I like, is that the stuff that's set up like just works. I mean, I know there have been issues over the years where it's like certain things might break or whatever, but for the most part, it's like the fact that I could start restreaming, and it's just like, okay, you just like take this zip file, you just set up the scenes and everything in OBS, and then like all of that stuff is just pulled from like browser sources. Like, it's just running and it's there with like 100% uptime. Like, it's more consistent than like Bingo Sync at this point, because Bingo Sync's track record is kind of going down a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, tried to do some when we changed some of the background stuff. Tried to do be a bit more fancy with some of the modifications that were discussed for the layouts, and it was more complicated than it's the mix of being complicated because the framework it's in, documentation's interesting,
Mm,
in combination with not trying to understand other people's code and how they did things is always a challenge.
yeah, that's right. I forgot you were like, um, you were helping out with making those like new things and everything. Like, you found the chat overlay and integrated that.
Eh,
That was you,
mm.
right?
Yeah, I ended up using one of the third-party sites that does a chat thing, and it was all in OBS because getting it into the node thing was proving
Dicey.
more trouble than it was probably worth.
Yeah. Yeah. It's fun though. I like the tech stuff. I always like the behind the scenes action. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not trying to say that you and I are like, the restreamers are carrying the community, but like, we're carrying the community.
I'm not.
Well, we haven't had anything to do with the 2v2 right now being on speed gaming. It's so sad. I'm like, what do you mean someone else gets to do all the restreaming?
I'm perfectly happy watching with the occasional commentating.
Oh,
Uh,
I miss it being on our channel, which I know it
yeah,
will be soon enough, but
yeah. I mean, restreaming is nice in its own way, but it can get tiring if you're doing a tune, or even whether you're commenting or not, because you still, with how we do it, at least want to pay attention. The
yeah.
interesting thing with how speed gaming seems to do it is once it gets going,
Yeah, they're
especially
just
if issues,
gone.
they let it,
Yeah.
which makes sense. There's a lot like if you have a panel that the commentators can just toggle the view.
Yeah, that's true, which is pretty cool. Yeah. I don't want us to be so efficient that we make the restreamer themselves like redundant though. That'd be sad. I like getting to be like, you know, participating in it the whole time, even if I'm just sitting there silently watching. Somebody fire me,
You're the one
please.
who you're the one who fills out who can fill out all the commentator time
Yeah,
talking about pizza toppings and things.
I know, right? Have we gotten your favorite pizza toppings on record? Have you? I've surely asked
Yeah,
you.
you rejected my pizza topping.
Wait, was this the? Were you the person who said,
Yes.
"Oh my, if you're in Europe, you'd rather have"?
Tuna and onion.
Oh my God! See, I remember
I
that.
combined it, it's great. And otherwise, barbecue chicken's usually very good.
Barbecue chicken is good, but I do have to tell a story that I did eat a frozen, ultra thin crust barbecue chicken pizza before I had it for breakfast before I flew later in the day, and I threw up all over myself on the plane. So I have permanent trauma now regarding barbecue
California Pizza
chicken
Kitchen?
pizzas. No, it was just the grocery store brand, which but I'm not gonna lie, dude, like I still eat barbecue chicken pizza. I'm not gonna let throwing up on myself on an airplane one time stop me. Like, um, yeah, I tuna and onion. Like, I'm a huge onion fan. Like, I have beef with people when they're like, I don't really like onions, or like I don't want to be able to taste them, and I'm like, I will bite into an onion raw. Like, I go hardcore. But tuna, I don't know.
I mean, you ever had a tuna melt?
Not really. I'm not much of a fish person, honestly. Which is kind of sad
No.
because I like to try a lot of new stuff and like I'm lacking in that
I mean,
department.
you do live, if I recall, kind of landlocked-ish.
Yeah, yeah, now. But
You're not really near any oceans,
what was
or
my excuse for the last 30 years though when I was next to an ocean?
where was it, what state was that?
California.
Yeah, there's an ocean there.
Yeah, not too far. I don't seafood just doesn't do it for me. What's your favorite kind of food?
Uh,
Just in general, not pizza specific.
that's a tough one.
Okay, top 3, top
Most
5.
most Asian varieties,
Yeah.
Thai particularly, Japanese, Szechuan Chinese.
Hmm.
It's a great Szechuan Chinese place near me.
What is the difference between Szechuan and
Tends to be
regular?
spicier.
Oh, okay. That's fair.
Uh, and this one's not Americanized Chinese, so
Ooh.
not loads and loads of sugar.
Yeah. What about the MSG?
Oh, probably.
Okay, yeah. MSG tastes delicious, so yeah. I
Don't
just
ask, and just a flavor.
yeah. If you're going out to eat, I feel like that's the time to just not worry about stuff like that.
I mean, if you're getting food from any other cuisine, you're just getting tons of butter and stuff anyway. So
Mm. Um, yeah, Thai is good. Pineapple fried rice, yellow curry, red curry, pad Thai. I've only had good pad
exactly.
Thai like once. Every other pad Thai I've had has been mediocre, but it's good when it's done right.
Yep.
All right, least favorite foods.
Least favorite foods. Well, at least foods have changed. Used to hate eggplant, but then I've learned that you can actually have good eggplant if it's not the like type I guess in like well up in Italian it's the really thick spongy cuts.
Mm,
So it's actually cooked well or thin.
yeah.
Uh, mushrooms usually.
Aw.
Still my flavor, but the texture and
Yeah,
sponginess are
mushrooms are kind of weird.
yeah.
I like them a lot, but yeah, but there's a lot of weird varieties of mushrooms too, which like if you like Asian cuisine, you must come across like enoki mushrooms and stuff that are just like very freaky looking.
Yeah, I eat around them usually.
Do you do like Korean barbecue or hot pot, anything like that?
Uh, done hot pot a couple of times. Been a long time. The Korean barbecue, like we cook in front of you, is always a lot of fun. And our the Japanese barbecue is similar. There's a no chain gyukaku that's always nice.
Oh yeah, we have well, I say we. There was a gyukaku in California that I went to
Yeah,
twice, I think. But
yeah,
Japanese
they're a
barbecue's
chain. They were,
expensive.
yeah, I think they were originally from Japan actually, but yeah, there was like four of them in Boston
Mm,
area.
it was good. It
Yeah,
was good, but expensive
I
because it's quality.
yeah, I buy their sauce regularly and put it on stuff at home.
Mm. They sell the sauce at the restaurant?
Yeah, they sell it to go
Oh,
in, sauce bottles, and it's
yeah.
a good one on different things.
But like you have to go to
One
the
time,
restaurant to get it.
or get it once I've I've had it delivered, but
Oh,
or
okay.
just yeah, or go to the restaurant.
Okay. I just meant like it's not like you can just go to the grocery store and find it because it was like I feel like I would remember if I had
Uh,
seen Gyukaku brand sauce in a grocery store.
I've seen it in a grocery store or two, but that was H Mart.
Oh, okay. Well, then that doesn't count.
Uh, well, the one time I ordered the sauce, and instead of giving it to me in like the normal like a dressing container, they're like, we ran out of the sauce, so they gave me like, and I ordered three of them. So it was they gave me three, the large like quart size or pint size, the mid-sized plastic containers just full of the sauce, three of them, and I'm like, this isn't equivalent. Three sealed containers last me a lot longer than three to-go containers of sauce
Yeah.
in terms of how long the shelf life will be.
Yeah. Oh, that sucks.
Giving that away to friends, and
Oh,
I think they gave me back the money, but yeah, it's like it's not quite the same.
yeah. Like if you had enough to fill up three to-go containers, like couldn't you just give me like an opened
Well, I mean,
bottle?
the other one, I mean, the bottles that they sell are like actually like from like I'm sure like their factory or prepare, all like actually like sealed, like if you got it from the grocery.
Yeah. Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah,
I gotta
their stuff's good.
I gotta find a place that sells eel sauce because that is one of my favorite things when I get sushi. And like I don't know if that's something you can get at like the grocery store, at least the regular grocery store.
You can try the international aisle if you have a good
Yeah,
grocery store. I don't know what. Otherwise, a
probably.
Japanese grocery store or like an H Mart or stuff. If you have any of that stuff near you, like any of the,
I think I do.
they seem to have H Mart seems to have a little bit of. They're primarily Korean, but they do seem to have some Japanese and other stuff as well.
They're like, we're in America, like they're not gonna know the difference. We have to just carry everything, like which is understandable. Like the
Well, I mean,
the restaurant I have in my town is like it touts itself as like Chinese, Thai, and sushi, and I was like, wow, you're just covering like all your bases. But I haven't had any of the Chinese food, but I've had the Thai and the sushi, and I'm like, you know what, it's good though. So like, I'm not complaining about having variety, but it's kind of
I mean,
funny.
Thai and sushi I've seen together multiple times,
Mm.
and then Chinese and sushi I only usually ever see together if you're at like a buffet of some sort.
I just went to a buffet for the first time this past weekend, and it was a Chinese buffet that also had sushi, and exactly as I would have expected, buffet sushi not that good. But you know, it's a buffet, so that's kind of to be expected. But it's some good
Yeah.
Chinese stuff though. Um, they had like the black pepper chicken, sesame chicken, the sweet and sour chicken. Like Chinese food is good. I'm getting
Yeah,
hungry just talking about this.
I
Hmm.
ate already.
Yeah, I'm done for the day. No more snacking. Um, well, we're almost at the hour mark, so thank you for coming on and being a guest. I know it was a little tough to get this scheduled, but we managed to get it done, so I'm proud of us.
We pulled it off before I uh, travel one last time for a while.
Where are you going?
Uh, Paris.
Oh. Wait, I feel like I might have heard about this already, but you're gonna go hang out with like Pogo and Darkman and all them. All the Frenchies.
Uh, I hadn't planned on it, but
I don't think any of them live near Paris, anyways.
I don't think so.
Yeah. Well, that'll be
But
fun.
be a fun few days.
When are you going for that?
Friday to Thursday.
Oh, dang. And is it for? I assume it's not for work. Is it just for fun?
Uh, Mostly for fun. Or yes, for purely for fun.
Okay. If you work a little bit on the trip, I won't tell anybody. Like you won't be in any trouble with me.
I don't think I'm allowed to work out of country in that way.
It's probably safe.
Some, yeah.
Well, that'll be fun. Please take a lot of pictures because I have never been outside of the U.S., which is really sad. I'd like to live vicariously through your.
You live on the border.
I do, and technically, I went to Canada when I was like 2 years old. My parents remind me, but I'm like, that doesn't count. Like, I was a baby. I didn't even need a passport or anything like that. Like, but yeah, France is definitely
Well,
up
go to
there.
Canada now.
Yeah, but closest I could get to France and Canada would just be Quebec, and that's part of my lore that we'll just leave it there. But I have beef with French
Forget
Canadians.
how west you are, but if you can get to like Calgary and that side of like the Alberta area, that's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I would like to go to Canada at some point too, of course, but France is more like ooh, like Paris. But so yes,
Yeah,
please take a lot of pictures and share them because I would like to see.
sounds good. We'll do.
All right, well, cool. Thanks for coming on, and yeah,
Thanks for having.
it was a pleasure.